There's one detail in Dead Space that completely breaks the idea that the markers only care about flesh and biology, and it's something a lot of people overlook: stasis-enhanced slashers. Because once you actually think about what a stasis slasher is, the implications get pretty disturbing. A stasis slasher isn't just a necromorph that happens to be slowed down or affected by an external field. It's a necromorph that has permanently incorporated a technological function into how it operates. Its movement, its combat behavior, even the way it controls space around it, all of that is altered by stasis technology. And here's the key part: their stasis never runs out. That alone tells us this isn't just a temporary effect or a gameplay abstraction. In universe, stasis is a human-made device. It requires power, it needs recharging, it's not biological. And yet, once the marker signal gets involved, that limitation disappears entirely. Which means the marker didn't just tolerate technology near a necromorph, it integrated it. That's huge. Because stasis in Dead Space isn't magic. It's time dilation. It manipulates local space-time, slowing matter, energy, and movement. For the marker signal to stabilize that effect indefinitely inside a biological construct means it can interface with technology at a fundamental level. And the moment you accept that, the whole markers only care about biology argument starts to fall apart. The markers don't exist to spread chaos randomly. Their entire purpose is harvesting and conversion on a planetary scale. Every necromorph type is optimized for efficiency. Slashers rush. Lurkers control space. Brutes break resistance. Everything has a role. So what does a stasis slasher do? It controls tempo. It stops prey from escaping. It locks targets in place. It slows fights down on the marker's terms. And from an evolutionary standpoint, that's perfect. If prey can't run, harvesting becomes faster. If resistance can't move, conversion becomes cleaner. That's not accidental. That's optimization, which raises an uncomfortable question. If the marker could do this with stasis, why stop there? The games show us that the marker signal already interacts with technology in other ways. It hijacks neural implants, it overrides containment systems, it manipulates electromagnetic signals, it rewrites brains that are already dependent on machines. So the idea that it would suddenly refuse to adapt technology into its own processes just doesn't make sense. And yet the franchise introduces stasis slashers and then just stops. New stasis brutes. No kinesis amplified necromorphs. No gravity warped conversion zones. No industrial machinery fused into living biomass. That's the real missed opportunity. Because if the marker can sustain a stasis field indefinitely inside a slasher, it could absolutely go further. Imagine necromorphs that project localized time dilation fields, freezing entire corridors. Imagine conversion chambers where victims are slowed to near immobility while infection spreads faster inside their bodies. Imagine necromorphs that weaponize kinesis-like forces, not with muscles, but by manipulating space itself to drag victims in. None of that breaks Dead Space lore. In fact, it strengthens it. Because the marker isn't a dumb virus. It's a problem-solving intelligence operating on a cosmic scale. It adapts based on the species it encounters against a civilization built on technology. Ignoring that technology would be inefficient. And the marker doesn't tolerate inefficiency. Stasis slashers are proof that the marker is willing to hybridize biological and technological systems when the outcome is faster harvesting. The only reason we don't see more of it isn't because the marker couldn't do it. It's because the games chose not to explore it. And that's honestly a shame. Because leaning into this idea would have pushed Dead Space from pure body horror into full techno-cosmic horror, where humanity's greatest inventions don't just fail, but are absorbed, repurposed, and perfected by the extinction force they were meant to fight. The markers don't hate technology. They don't worship flesh. They worship results. And stasis slashers are the quiet proof that given enough time, the marker would have turned every human invention into just another step in the conversion pipeline. The tragedy isn't that the marker stopped at stasis slashers. the tragedy is that the franchise did